Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a look at how to paint the Tau Sept. I think this is the most iconic colour scheme for the Tau army, and it's the one that I grew up with. All the paints you'll need will be listed below in the description, along with a free PDF guide. So let's grab our paints, let's grab our brushes, and let's get into it. I have Rhinox Hide, Mournfang Brown and XB88 on the palette. Take some Rhinox Hide and add a small amount of water, and then go ahead and apply this all over the model and into the recesses. Rhinox Hide will act as a foundation for many of the colours. The pants and undersuit will be a dark brown, and it will be easier to apply the XB88 over the Rhinox Hide. Thin down some XB88 and apply this to all of the armour panels that you want to be this colour. I'm leaving the symbols and some areas of the gun that I'll be painting black later. You may notice that the coverage is not fantastic, but we want to ensure that we are not obscuring any detail, and we can always apply more layers of XB88 to improve the coverage and boost saturation. Now we have all our base colours in place, I'm going to start highlighting the materials. I create a mix of Rhinox Hide and Mournfang Brown, and I add very little water as I want a layer consistency. If you do not know what layering is, please check out my other video. I begin highlighting the folds of the material, letting the details and the shapes of the model guide where I place the highlights. Adding more Mournfang Brown to the mix, I pick out the brightest sections of the material where the light would likely catch. And don't forget to highlight the fingers. Taking a mix of Rhinox Hide and Abaddon Black, I begin to shade the recesses. This will add some additional contrast in the trousers and the undersuit, making the details more readable from a distance. Starting from our base of XB88, I take some Mournfang Brown and thin that down to a glaze consistency using water. If you do not know what glazes are, please check out my other video. We are going to use this to start creating gradients over the armour panels. I'm treating each collection of plates as its own individual shape or volume to keep things simple. In this instance, the light is coming from above and will catch at the bottom of each plate. So when you're glazing, you want to push the pigment into the shadows. If any of the plates are perpendicular to the light, we won't apply any glaze. Again, I'm thinking, where is my light coming from? It's coming from above, so it's going to catch at the bottom of the plate. So I place my shadow towards the top edge. When it comes to shading the helmet, I'm thinking where the light would catch. I know it'll be somewhere around the top crest of the helmet, so I darken down the front faceplate and the edges of the helmet to help define the volume. Taking some of our previous mix of Mournfang Brown and Rhinox Hide, I create another glaze. This will be used to add more depth to the shadows and to boost the saturation in those areas. Following the same shading pattern from the last step, I try to cover a slightly smaller area to ensure I have a smooth gradient between the colours. Thin down some Rhinox Hide into a glaze consistency and apply this into the darkest areas of the model. To finish the shading, we apply an all-over wash of Agrax Earthshade on the model. Use this to create separation between the plates and to unify the colours and the finish of each section. To highlight the model, we use XV88 in a layer consistency to start edge highlighting the armour panels. Take your time with this as the Tau models are quite small and detailed. If you've got any Agrax Earthshade onto the upward facing panels, apply some XV88 all over those areas to clean them up. We want to work our way around the model and grab each of the edges to create additional contrast and to make those sections pop. I decided the helmet needed some additional highlighting to pull attention towards the face. I begin by applying some thin coats of XV88 over the crest of the helm to bring some additional focus and attention to the face. Using XV88 and white, we create a mix to really pick out those upper edges and to draw attention to the upward parts of the model. This will really help to frame the detail and focus the attention of the viewer. Again, just take your time with this section and work slowly to ensure that you apply the highlights in the right place and you don't have to go back and repeat any of the previous steps. I'm using Abaddon Black to base coat parts of the details and the Tau symbols. Take your time with this and be sure not to get any black on those armor panels. If you thin down your black, you may need to apply a couple of coats to get an even finish. Apply Dawnstone over the sections of the armour where we want the white accent colour to be. I have chosen to do this on the shoulder pad and on the antenna attached to the helmet. I'm using Dawnstone to edge highlight and to create some definition within the sections of the gun that we painted black. You want to edge highlight the upward facing edge of each panel within the gun. We repeat this process with the Tau symbols because we want to create some separation between each of the segments. Take your time when edge highlighting these shapes, and if you make any mistakes, just paint over it with Abaddon Black and try to catch the edge again. To highlight the shoulder pad, we begin by mixing Dawnstone and white and pulling this down to where the light would catch. If you remember from our previous section, we said the light was coming from above, so the light would catch at the bottom of the shoulder pad. This may appear a bit rough at first, but we will refine this gradient once we have our light in place.
To smooth out the step between the Dawnstone and our highlight colour on the shoulder pad, we begin by creating some glazes from our mix and from the Dawnstone. We use these to work back and forth over that step and smooth out the transition. To paint the Tau flesh colour, I begin from a base of the Fang and apply 2 coats to get an even and saturated colour. I plan to leave the nails or the hooves or whatever they are black just to make life a bit easier. Adding some white to the Fang, we create a highlight colour for the skin and apply this on the areas where the light would catch. Now it's time to add some pop colour. Using Thousand Suns Blue, I start to pick out some of the details on the Fire Warrior. The vents, the scope, and the barrel of the gun are a good place to start. The lenses on the helmet will also help draw attention to the face. And just for fun, we'll add some to the backpack as well. To highlight these sections, we will add some white into our Thousand Suns Blue. We'll pick out the centre of the vent and the centre of each gun barrel. Because our light is coming from above, we will highlight the opposite bottom corner of each lens. I place a small highlight in the opposite upper corner from this initial highlight to give the impression of a glint, and I do the same thing with the lenses on the face. And on the backpack, I add a highlight to help separate each of the vent folds. This is essentially the finished model. I think this is a great colour scheme and a classic for any Tau army. I'll do the base off screen and come back for that close-up 360 shot.
Hopefully you found that useful and you can apply it to your own army. I think it's a great foundation for the Tau Sept and one you can take to the next level by applying some weathering or additional detailing. If you have any comments, questions or suggestions for future videos, please drop them in the comments below, and I stream a couple of days a week on Twitch if you'd like to come by and hang out. We also have a Discord where you can share your work and get involved with the community, and all links can be found in the description. And until next time.
Hopefully you found this useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe.